Yu Shi, naturally intelligent and quick-witted. His lifelong ambition was to rise to the rank of a noble and general. But life is unpredictable. He caught the eye of the emperor, who fell deeply in love with him. Unwilling to become empress to a hot-tempered, arrogant ruler who cared for no one, Yu Shi decided to escape. As the teleportation array activated, the emperor rushed in, desperately pleading with Yu Shi not to leave. Ignoring his words, this was his one and only chance at freedom. Yu Shi paid no mind to the emperor's frantic cries. His body gradually faded, disappearing completely, leaving the emperor alone and hopeless. The array transported Yu Shi 1,000 years into the future, to the 21st century. With his knowledge and real-life experiences from his own era, he started a live-streaming class teaching about the feudal dynasty, earning money to make a living. Today, like every other day, he turned on his computer and began his work. After the lesson ended, he picked up a flute and performed a tune as a gift for his audience. Reading through the comments to interact with viewers, Yu Shi was surprised to see that today's viewership was higher than usual. One particular comment, however, caught his attention. The city has just unearthed a set of remains. After examination, they've been confirmed to belong to a king from the feudal era. The door burst open, and a man walked in. His name was Alu, Yu Shi's neighbor, who had been his benefactor when he first arrived here, offering him generous help. 5 years had already passed since then. Alu came to discuss the news with him, saying that the internet was abuzz over these remains. The public's interest was higher than ever before, as experts speculated that the bones belonged to Sheng Mingzhu, the only monarch in history said to have succumbed to demonic cultivation. The cause of his descent into darkness remained a mystery. Yu Shi flinched, his body tense with fear and panic. Alwan noticed the unusual look on his face and asked, "What's wrong? Are you feeling unwell?" "I'm fine," Yu Shi replied, though his mind was in turmoil at the mention of Sheng Mingzhu, the man he had hoped never to see again for the rest of his life. Alu continued, explaining that the city government had heavily invested in cultural and historical preservation. All remains unearthed in the past had been reconstructed to show what they looked like in life. In a few months, Ma Huang's likeness would be on display at the museum, and anyone could buy a ticket to see him. Alu then invited Yu Shi to go see it with him. "No way. I wouldn't go even if it killed me," Yu Shi shouted, his reaction startling Alu, who blinked in confusion. All right, we won't go." "No need to overreact," Alu said. Yu Shi quickly apologized, and Alu reassured him that it was fine. After Alu left, Nyokso tried to calm himself. "It's fine. He's dead. He's been dead for over 1,000 years. There's nothing to worry about." Though he had refused to go, in the end, Yu Shi still found himself at the museum. He wore a mask pulled up high, hiding his face as he stood in line, waiting for his turn to enter. His heart pounded in his chest, a trace of nervousness rising within him. Placing a hand over his chest to steady himself, Yu Shi tried to calm his thoughts. There's no way a 1,000-year-old corpse could suddenly come back to life. No matter what had happened in the past, he decided to treat this visit as a final farewell. After nearly half a day of waiting in line, it was finally his turn. Each visitor was given only 10 minutes to view the exhibit and had to move through in a set order. One of the guests exclaimed, "What kind of technique is this? It looks so real." Yu Shi stood frozen, staring at Sheng Mingzhu's face. He was astonished. The rumors had said that when someone succumbed to demonic cultivation, their appearance would never age, and it was true. The emperor's face looked almost exactly as it had in the past. Yu Shi sank down next to the glass case, resting his head lightly, a trace of sorrow flickering across his features. In a soft voice, he whispered, "Farewell, Mingzhu." It was late at night by the time Yu Shi returned home. He shed his clothes and sank into the cool water of the bath to wash up. Afterward, he dried his hair with a hairdryer before going to bed. Lying there, Yu Shi's thoughts drifted back to days long gone. Though 1,000 years had passed in this world, for him, it had only been 5 years. At some point, he drifted off to sleep, unaware that outside, a thunderstorm was gathering, lightning splitting the sky with deafening booms. Suddenly, Sheng Mingzhu appeared, stepping toward his bed. He reached out, placing his hand on Nyokso's head, then leaned close and whispered, "Lang Yu Shi, I've searched for you for 1,000 years. So this is where you are." Yu Shi had no idea that the man he believed to be long dead had now appeared before him. He opened his eyes, then shut them again, pulling the blanket over himself and muttering, "I'm sleepy, don't bother me." Suddenly, his eyes snapped open like car headlights, wide with shock as he realized it was Sheng Mingzhu. Yu Shi slapped him hard across the face, then pinched his cheek and ran his hands over him, the sensation all too real. Sheng Mingzhu grabbed his hand and said, "You're bold indeed, daring to pinch my cheek like that." Yu Shi's soul nearly left his body. He shrank back, clutching his pillow, and screamed, "A ghost!" before bolting out of bed. He couldn't accept what was happening, muttering over and over, "It's an illusion. Just an illusion." He dashed straight toward the door, intending to flee, but a wave of black mist swept over it, sealing it completely. Yu Shi turned back to face him. Sheng Mingzhu's entire body radiated thick demonic energy as he said, "1,000 years have passed, yet your first reaction upon seeing me is still to run away." The dark aura surrounding him grew heavier and denser. Yu Shi raised his hands in surrender, trying to calm him down. "I won't run, I won't run. Your Majesty, please calm down." The room fell into a tense silence. The two sat facing each other, Yu Shi wearing an expression of deep sorrow. In his heart, he thought bitterly, "Truly cursed, after 1,000 years, I still can't escape him." Breaking the heavy silence, Sheng Mingzhu said, "You must be wondering how I suddenly appeared before you." He continued, "Though my body decayed, my soul remained, waiting all this time for this very day. Their resurrection techniques weren't bad. They gave me this new body so I wouldn't have to meet you as nothing but bones. That would have frightened you too much." Yu Shi said nothing, but inwardly scoffed, "And this doesn't frighten me? How is it any different?" Sheng Mingzhu added, "Yesterday, while I was still in that coffin, I heard your voice. It was you who awakened me." At this, Yu Shi was filled with regret for visiting the museum. He silently prayed to heaven, begging for another chance to travel through time and escape this nightmare. From the moment Sheng Mingzhu had appeared, Yu Shi hadn't said a word, simply sitting there listening. But then he suddenly stood when he heard the emperor say he wanted an explanation from him. Summoning all his courage, Yu Shi thought, "No need to be afraid. He's just a reanimated corpse. This is the 21st century. An outdated emperor who just crawled out of the dirt has no right to force himself on an innocent man. It's illegal." He declared boldly, "Sheng Mingzhu, I want a divorce." The emperor's gaze turned ice cold as he asked, "What?" Crossing his arms defiantly, Yu Shi repeated, "I said I want a divorce. In modern terms, it means I want to end this marriage." With the bearing of an emperor, he said to Yu Shi, "I've spoiled you too much. How could an empress possibly want to divorce her emperor?" Yu Shi silently reminded himself, "Don't get angry, don't get angry. This isn't the first time you've dealt with him." He spoke up, "Sorry, Your Majesty, I was simply informing you, not asking for your permission. Didn't you want me to explain?" Sheng Mingzhu's expression shifted slightly. Clutching the armrest of his chair tightly, he asked, "So you really do want a divorce from me? You've been tired of being by my side for a long time, haven't you?" Yu Shi turned away in silence. The atmosphere grew heavy and still. Sheng Mingzhu let out a deep sigh and said, "Let's pretend I never heard any of this. I also won't pursue the matter of your escape anymore. From now on, let's just live well together." "That's enough," Yu Shi shouted. "Sheng Mingzhu, open your eyes and see what era this is now." He kept explaining, "We never registered a marriage. Legally, we are not husband and wife. Right now, I am a free man. If you keep trying to force yourself on me, I'll take you to court." Sheng Mingzhu slammed his hand hard on the table and roared, "Insolence." He slowly stood, moving closer. Yu Shi stared in confusion, not understanding what was happening, when suddenly the emperor hoisted him up and threw him onto the bed. Then he pressed a kiss to Yu Shi's lips. He slowly pulled down Yu Shi's robe, revealing his smooth, fair body, alluring beyond words. Nyokso's face flushed crimson as he pleaded for him to let go. Sheng Mingzhu cupped his cheek and whispered, "You cannot treat me this way. It's been more than 1,000 years. I cannot accept this outcome."